Hello, and welcome to Little Bits of History, a show dedicated to telling little bits of history through history's littlest bits, coins. Today, our story begins in 1808. Steam power has revolutionized the way we produce goods and extract metals. James Madison has solidified his first term in office after the defeat of his Federalist rival, Charles Pinckney, and the siege of Zaragoza is right around the corner. The British East India Company was at the height of its power. It took to minting coins to pay its Indian workforce. It was much more convenient at the time for this practice to better standardize their currency and to also assert authority over their trade partners, so it made the most logical sense at the time. These coins were minted at the Soho Mint owned by Matthew Boulton, an English businessman who took to minting British coins in the late 1780s. Eventually, he was contracted by the British East India Company to make coins for them. He was one of the first adopters of steam power to strike coins, and could strike between 74 and 80 coins per minute using this new technology. To deliver the coins for the workforce, the British East India Company had a well-seasoned vessel for the job, the Admiral Garner. Named for Admiral Alan Garner, this ship was launched on April 12, 1797, and this delivery mission would be its sixth voyage to Madras and Bengal. It had served faithfully as an East Indiaman since its launch, and had seen 3 captains in its time. The captain for this sixth voyage was Captain William John Eastfield, who received his letter of marque for the Admiral Garner's 5th voyage, where it was nearly sent to an early grave by a 32-gun French privateer vessel. Eastfield had been active as a merchant sailor since 1807, and had experience with dealing with privateers, so he was the British East India Company's best bet for this mission. Now, with captain and crew and a ship full of precious coins for workers in India, the Admiral Garner set off on its 6th voyage on January 25, 1809. And none of them knew that they would not make it to Madras nor Bengal, but it would instead meet a grisly end. The following day, January 25, 1809, the ship would be lost on the Goodwin Sands. Off the South Foreland, when a gale tore the ship from its moorings, destroying the vessel and drowning 5 of its crew. The wicked gale would not only take the Admiral Garner, but also the Britannia and the Apollo, who were moored there as well. People from the nearby town of Deal were almost able to save the entire crew, but it was a little too late for those remaining 5 members. In the sunken hull of the Admiral Garner were many of these 10 cash coins, like you see here. These coins, as mentioned, were struck with steam power in 1808 at the Soho Mint and were primarily composed of copper. They weighed about 6.47 grams and had a diameter of 25.8 millimeters. On the obverse side, they have a coat of arms with supporters, the date of the coin was minted, and East India Company around the outer rim legend. On the back of the coin, it listed the value in both Persian and English, and are stamped with X cash. These were heavily circulated by the East India Company for payments and to assert a trade dominance in their territories.